When Grant Hill joined our team in Orlando 6 years ago, he was in the weight room one day and I was chatting with him. I said, Grant, what's your number one memory or reflection on playing for Mike Krzyzewski at Duke? And Grant thought a minute and he said, probably the fist. He said, Coach K taught us about the fist. He said he would hold up his hand this way and said, those 5 fingers represent the 5 players on a basketball team. As a punching device, as a weapon, he said, nothing there. But he said, if you pull that together in a fist, he said, you have a lethal weapon. If one finger comes out, you lose something. If 2 fingers come out, you lose a lot. It's not very effective at all, but he said, as long as that fist is together, he said, you've got something really, really powerful that can cause damage. And then Coach K adds that these 5 fingers stand for trust, communication, collective responsibility, caring, and pride. And if you watch the Duke teams on television, you'll see the fist. Coach K said recently, when we break out of a huddle after a timeout, we're all in there together, he said, we don't yell, defense. He said, we don't yell, win. He said, our guys all say the same thing. Together. That's the mantra. Makes sense, doesn't it? The magic of teamwork. T-E-A-M-S. We have an interesting family. We have 19 children. I'm the father of 19 children. 14 have been adopted from 4 foreign countries. The oldest now is 34. The youngest is 21. Our 4th grandchild arrived this week, so I am wall to wall with children and grandchildren. There was one year when 16 of my children were all teenagers at the same time. That's the year that I realized why some animals eat their young. We never could have made this through all those years without Angel. Angel was a handyman, he was a driver, he was a child psychologist, he carried the load, and still does, even though they're all out of the house. We can't make it without Angel. One of Angel's big jobs with us was the garbage. I mean, twice a week, that was a huge logistical process, getting the garbage from the kitchen area to the end of the driveway. A couple of years ago, he was doing it, rolling the cans out there, and he noticed a scurrying sound on the top of one of the garbage cans. He picked the lid up and looked in, and staring right at him was a possum. And Angel, I said, Angel, what did you do? He said, well, I wheeled the carts back the other way through the backyard to the lake and dumped the possum in the water and told him not to come back. They can swim. Angel said while he was down there at the edge of the lake, he noticed a mound of dirt that he hadn't seen before. He said, so I took a stick, he said, and stirred it. 6 water moccasins flared at him, just flared. I said, Angel, what did you do? He said, well, I went back to the house and got a bigger stick and an axe. And I went back and chopped all their heads off. I said, Angel, don't tell me. I said, what were you thinking? You got to be scared to death. He said, nah, Mr. Williams, he said, I'm an old rattlesnake hunter from Texas. He said, no big deal. Whew. And then I thought to say, Angel, let me ask you a question. As you were decapitating these water moccasins to save the Williams family, why didn't they just run away? Why didn't they just take off? He said, he said, Mr. Williams, they'd never do that. He said, if one of them gets in trouble, he said, they'll always stick together. They'll never abandon one another. And you know what I thought? If water moccasins get it, how about the rest of us?